All right, hey everyone, welcome back to my series on Taiwanese phonics. In this video, I'm going to go over the vowel sounds. Now there are kind of six standard normal vowel sounds, and a couple of them have what we might call a short vowel in English. It's not exactly the same thing as a short vowel though, and I'll tell you what I mean by that as we go through them. So let's go ahead and get started. So these are the six vowel sounds right here, and I'll read through them just quickly so you can hear. Sa, se, she, se, so, su. So a couple of things to point out here. Notice that the O is not an O sound. The O with a dot next to it is the O sound. And the O by itself is an sound. So, se, and here we have so. So let's give you some words for these ones so you can practice. So here we've got sa, and you can have an expression like salai, which means to, hey, bring it over here, salai. Next up, we've got se, and we can have a word like se hong, which means the West. So I could say that I am from se hong. Here we've got she, and don't forget when you have an S or CH or J that's followed by an I, it's going to change to that other version of the sound. So here we have that SH sound, sh, and this word she means poem, or I could have si-jîn, poet. Here we've got se, and I have a word like so-thâu, which literally kind of means to pat somebody on the head. It basically means to comfort somebody. So-thâu. Here we've got so, and it's very commonly used in a word like so-piáⁿ. So kind of means flaky or crispy, something like that, and so-piáⁿ is kind of a pastry with a flaky crust. And then here we've got su, and su means to lose. If you put it together with to win, you get su-yîn, which means win or lose, or like the outcome of an event or a game, something like that. Su-yîn. So let's just review these one more time. Sa, se, she, se, so, su. So for some of those vowel sounds that we just learned, there's going to be sort of two forms. Maybe we can call it a long form and a short form. It's not really the technically correct terms, but we can call it that just to distinguish between them. So let's take a look at the E. So the normal E sound that we just learned is in a word like se or se hong. And here we've got, just to practice with that nasal sound, sinh, and that means to give birth. You could say like sinh kiáⁿ, which would mean to have a child. Okay, down here, when we have an E that's followed by a K or an NG, so only for these two, there is an exception. And this E no longer sounds like an now it's going to sound like an ia. So as I said, it's not really a short vowel sound, it's just different, an ia sound. And you'll notice that the ia sound, it kind of starts with an E, kind of starts with an I sound a little bit. And because of that, this S sound is going to change into that other form, that sh sound. So here we've got s, and here we've got sh. And so this word is xiek, which means color. We actually heard that word before when we said the color yellow, which was xiek. Down here we've got another one, and again, same thing. So we've got the ia sound, and the S changes into the SH because it's got a little bit of that I sound in the ia. And the word here is xiang, which means first. So let's review these once more. Se, sinh, xiek, xiang. All right, next up we've got the I sounds, and again there's sort of two varieties, kind of the standard long form of the sound, which is that E sound we just heard, and here we've got the word he, which means fish. And then if I is followed by a P or a T, and again, those are the only two exceptions, we're going to change it to a sort of short I sound, which in this case sounds very much like the short I in English, I. So the word here is hip, and we have a word like hip xiong, which means to take a photograph, hip xiong. And then down here we've got the word hit, which does not mean to hit. In this case, it means that, like that thing over there. I would say, give me one of hide. All right, so let's review these one more time. He, hip, hit. Let's take a look at the O sound. So again, we've got sort of the standard long form of the O sound, which we learned was not o. Remember, that's the one with the dot next to it. So we've got this word here, Tâ, which means knife in a word like tai Tâ. And here we've got the word Tâ, which means table in a word like Tâ. Now, if we have the K or the NG after, the same as with the E, we get an exception, and it's only for these two cases. And we're going to change that O sound from an to an O. So it's kind of a little bit similar to the English short O sound, maybe not exactly the same, but you get the idea. And here we've got the word tok, which actually means beak. But if you have been in Taiwan and you're like me, if you're Caucasian, you may have heard somebody refer to you as an atoga. In that case, what they're really referring to is that Caucasians tend to have sort of higher nose bridges up here. Your nose kind of sticks out a bit more, so they use the word technically beak to refer to that. It's not necessarily insulting or racist or anything like that. It's just a phrase in the language. So we've got the word tok. And then here, again, if we have the NG after an O, it's the same sound. It's that O sound. And here we've got the word dong, which you'll find in, let's say, a place name like Bin Dong in southern Taiwan. So let's review these once more. The, tok, dong. Let's take a look at the U sound. So again, there are two different sounds here. We've got the standard sort of long form of the U sound, which sounds like oo. And here we've got the word hu, which you might find in a word like jing hu, which means government. And then if it's followed by a T or an N, so again, that's the same as with the I sound. If it's followed by a T or an N, then it changes to the short vowel sound, which in this case is an sound, very similar to the English sound in the word put. So here we have the word hut, and you'll notice that this H is capitalized, and that's one of the benefits of writing Taiwanese in a romanization like this, is that you can capitalize proper nouns. So just by looking, we know that this is a proper noun, and in this case, hut means Buddha, and if I wanted to say Buddhism, I would say hut gao. And here we have the U followed by the N, so it's the same short U sound, the sound, and the word here is hun, and I can use it in a word like get hun, which means to get married. So let's review all of these sounds once more. Hu, hut, hun. So just to wrap up, let's go through all of those vowel sounds one more time. So we've got sa, se, shi, se, so, su, and again, se, sen, shik, xiang, he, hip, hit, de, tok, dong, hu, hut, hun. All right, so that was it for the single vowel sounds. Next up, in the next video, we will look at some vowel combination sounds. So putting these together, sometimes it changes the sounds a little bit. If you find these videos useful, don't forget to head down there and find that subscribe and like button. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that bell icon. And feel free to leave me any questions or comments in the messages below. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. 感謝大家，再會。